Metaphysical Mama. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday, or whatever day you happen upon the stream. Yeah, thoth cards. Got some thoth cards out. So I have a bunch of stuff pulled up today. I've just been like channeling away and like all day, just like the tabs that are open. Let's just look at I don't know if you can. I have so many tabs open on this right now. I've just been hunting. A hunting we will go all day. And I just hit some. So I was gonna get a little into like I had here. Let me maybe actually. I did a video earlier that I'm gonna upload regarding Johnson and Johnson, and not necessarily the company, but the vibration of the word, the etymology, luxury, right? Faith without works is dead, and work without faith is dead, right? So putting our work into our spiritual furnace, getting that fire going, right, inside the physical body, while balancing and respecting, right, our material and technological, right, AI, or bullshit, could be AI, artificial intelligence that we're believing, depending on how we're looking at it, what perception, where we're standing, where we're coming from. So, right, the word Johnson, right? Sons of Johns. John is another word for man, right? Son of man. And there's two sons, right? Johnson and Johnson, binary star system. So kind of tying in again to like the virus, right? Osiris virus going around and around, right? Death and rebirth, like the clock, right? The hours, Horus, horizon, and there's noon, and we get into, right? Eve, evening. But now, too, remember, we start our clock at 12 a.m. when it's darkest, right? And how many stars are out at night before we awaken into, right, the morning. We've come accustomed to, right, going around the solar deity, wake up at sunrise, right? We'll go to sleep at nighttime. I'll wake up in the morning for work and school, right, for labor, slavering. All right, it was for an allotted amount of time. So today's Friday, April 23rd. But Mars is going into Cancer today, or already has, I believe, maybe by now. 7:43 p.m. presently Eastern Standard Time, as far as that goes. And Princess of Discs. So let me pop open the gematria for Johnson and Johnson. So I saw a couple things that caught my eye. And the Emperor is at the bottom of the deck. Speaking of Mars, Aries. Where did I stick it? Right here, Johnson and Johnson. So yeah, that was interesting. Some maybe scan back up to the top here. And I just, I didn't really, I just popped in Johnson and Johnson. So also, right, it also, I had something else pulled up here before the video that I'll have uploading later. I read a little bit about like, is Johnson a Viking name, and it related with Jehovah, and the other version of it, Johnson, related to Yahweh. Buck-cheek pattern, right? Like on the dark side, tales from the dark side. Where the sun don't shine, right? Like oh sun. Well, somewhat. I mean, I'm being literal, but I'm also like being really playful, right? Important to be playful. Now, Johnson and Johnson vaccine, they say are like great. There's like blood clots occurring and such more. And I'm not quite sure, again, you know, having knowledge of said, say, if there's something spreading around, right, just take natural precautions, right? If you get sick or get a cold, what do you typically do, right? Or if you have a child you take care of, right? We just have to, right? That's our divine feminine, nurturing ourselves, taking care of ourselves. When something starts to, right, create imbalance in our system, right? Or sometimes, right, our dads or our brothers or the guys we know, and us girls too, right? Like if something's up with our car, need an oil change, need something with the tires, need, right, a spark plug fixed, some struts, right? We call one of our guy friends, or sometimes, or again, sometimes we can, obviously us too, right? But however, I'm just kind of talking about the fatherly role, right? Like a father would be like, did you check your oil, right? Make sure you got air in your tires, right? All that stuff kind of teaches us how to drive more with the machinery is kind of what I'm referring to. And not all the time typically, right? So, but just as a reference. Because the motherly part is, again, they go hand in hand, right? Fatherly part of us is right, like look out and make sure that you're being responsible and take care of things, right? Maintain your material things. That's kind of fatherly, right? And then a mother's going to be like motherly, and divine mother nurturing is more, make sure you're warm before you go outside, brush your teeth, take a shower, brush your hair, make sure you look, right, want you to look good, be clean, or whatever, right? A little more, or if you don't feel good, stay home. We want you to, again, right? So why don't you take care of yourself? So we can be a little bit bossy or demanding in those manners if someone's not feeling well, or something may be broken, or um, men, and I'm just going to use men and money, but anybody and money, right? Money, 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 money. What's really the virus? So, depending on how we're looking at something, the perception that we're carrying due to, right, the perspective that we're able to see from. So as we're coming into different alignments, like I was talking about Mars coming, I have, like, I pulled up Earth sky, and big stuff happening in the Hercules constellation, which is also having to do with Alpheka, which I know has to do with, it's like one of the crowns also, right? So a lot of the star systems, when you start to look into, right, what the stars are called, that's the writing on the walls, right? That's not written with man's hand, right? So to have um, connection with that stream, right? Our cosmic conscious collective, along with, right? That's how also, right? Our say, computer, internet, right? Say mimic or represent, right? It's like the alien God and Mother Nature. So our AI, our technology, um, it does the same, like internet and Bluetooth work the same as how our thoughts and feelings get. That was 11 minutes and 9 seconds, 11 minutes and 14 seconds in now. That was too quick for me to. um, so it represents a same, right? It's relative. It's right. You can apply coming from the other angle. It's not the same, but it mimics, right? Um, how does our internet, when we type something into the, right, say Google or whatever space search engine, you punch something into the space bar. I remember way back in the day, we had like typewriters. I had to be like, I wonder how many even know what a typewriter is. It depends on all the different, right, beings that are from typewriters. Back in what we had like, like stamps, the rubber stamps. They had to like do certain things with stamps and wax to seal letters, scrolls, what have you. So, right, times change, and throughout times changing, right, we change and we tend to forget because, right, does anybody remember having beepers back in the day, right, or Nextels or flip phones? Some people still have, right, analog flip phones. I know some. Um, 8 tracks to 45 records, right, to and 33s, and you know, then to CDs. Then CDs become obsolete. We have MP3s, right? And now it's just like we just can listen and look up anything at any time, right? How spoiled are we? Are we grateful? Are we spoiled little brats running around with little crowns on our head like, I want a shot so I can go out to dinner and I don't have to wear a mask. And then it's so silly because, right, people are going out and eating and they're like in restaurants, walking in with a mask on and then sitting down to eat and taking it off. Or I see people like driving, picking up like taxis and limo people. They're like driving in their car without a mask on. And they pick somebody up and they put the mask on. Like they've been driving in the car with the window shut. Now it's starting to get a little warmer so you can open it a little more. But I see it all the time. And it's like, it's just so like the logic is not, it's like the thought process, you got to slow it down a tad, right, and cause and effect. And if I'm only taking information from something that's being provided on a screen, which if I maybe do a little more further research, I may recognize, right, that this might possibly be a repeat, right? Put the needle on the record, right? Round and round, Saturn, round and round, sideways. You're um. So a replay, a repeat, right? So, and that's just the nature of how that energy also operates, right? Round and round. So I'm joking again about it, but it's like, but it's literal, right? We're solar system round and round. You ever heard, like, right, play a record backwards and start Satan speaking to you. So, and that is true, right? Satan operates backwards, right? Ass backwards. Comes from the reverse side, right? Or from the underbelly, right? The interdimensional, uterine lining of, right, the womb, or like Cthulhu, the dark sleeping subconscious, where our I is asleep, right? Where so some so as our, right, so the subconscious, as we're diving down deep into the sub levels, right? Subdivisions of self, going in internally to take a I got bumped it off it. So hopefully, just gonna hold on a little hot second there and give it a sec. It's Friday. Lots of Mercury and like I said, lots of changes going on. Um, so yeah, I was referring to round and round, repeat. Right, Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater. Um, or right, and Peter. I know I'm not going to go too crazy into biblical things, right? And then there's Simon Peter. There's so many different names, and we can kind of combine them and assume, like, right, is the law, the Lord, the law, the same as, right, Jehovah, same as God, same as, no, there's many different gods, right? And well, there's, and the one, well, hold on. Again, I gotta get too crazy into that now, but say before, even before, say God, where did, right, there's a no thing, not nothing. Nothing is different, right? Word wise, right? Word wisdom, word wise, no thing is different than nothing, right? To be able to go where there's no thing, where it's calm, to have that clear space in the mind and in the heart and be grounded, right? It's really the place of, like, say, Zen, or however you, right, refer to, say, clarity, being able to come from a balanced place, and do the work in order to clean the vessel, clear the mind when there are, or at least be able to recognize when we're going through something that we're needing to take time and space to go through the feelings and the, say, delusionments or experience that we're having within the mind's eye, within the vessel, that brings up a lot of feelings and thoughts and perceptions and wonder and confusion and illusion and delusion. Right. So Julia, having fun with ourselves to be able to come to that, right, 0 point, um can be, you know, again, right, sometimes we go a lot farther when we sit the fuck still. So being able to allow thoughts and feelings to come, right, flooding in, rushing in, and balance our fire, the air, right? The airstream that's coming in, the water wave that it's rushing in on, the electricity that it's producing, right? The feelings, the emotions that are arising within our salt water body, our vessel, right? That's encapsulated within our physical Capricornian skin, the largest organ, right? And I forget how many organs we have like on the body. I know the skin's the largest organ, right? And what does the organ do but play music, right? Vibration. Um, so being an instrument of thy peace, allowing, right, self to go through the ups and downs and the bumpity bumps that bump our crowns. um, right? Because we, as we're again awakening, um, we're always awakening, right? It's like you go to sleep and you wake up, and you go to sleep and you wake up and you do it again, right? Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's Saturnian. Yeah. So it's not like it's always bad. It depends on how we look at something, right? I said actually, I did a vague reading earlier. And when I do readings, it's sometimes, specific to certain individuals that I know and their vibration comes up. And so I just quick shoot them a little picture of whatever I have pulled or whatever come out or. And so today, someone had asked me if, is that good or bad? And I still haven't answered them because, right, it's all dependent on, it's not about, again, good or bad. It's about how one is perceiving their experience or how the thoughts and the feelings that I have attached to a belief or what a word means or how I allow what someone else, right, the information that I'm getting from somewhere else to transpire within me. What am I, right? How am I being accountable for my reaction, my interpretation, and then the vibration that I'm sending out of my vessel, right? So cause and effect. There's a lot of beings right now that aren't comprehending, right, that cause and effect, right? Excuse me. Speaking of cause and effect, I have phone calls occurring on my phone. So I'm not going to make this too long because I do have a few things I do need to tend to. But back to Johnson and Johnson too, because this was, I want to quick read this before and especially because I wrote it in the description. So this is gematria, and I just popped in Johnson and Johnson, and I was kind of like, right too, like with the blood clot, right? It's causing blood clots, which could be a blockage, right? And Mars also represents the blood, right? Which is running through our vessel in an upward motion, right? And it's blue inside our veins when it's inside, right? Blue blood, interdimensional, intern. But if it's exposed to oxygen, if we have a cut or something, right, then my nose itches, sorry, then we bleed red. So anything that's exposed, right, to oxygen, the male gin. And that's funny because one of the Johnson and Johnson gematria is what is gin. DGINN, the jinn, which that goes into like Islam and like the genie and interdimensional, right, unseen supernatural energies, not necessarily benevolent. You ever seen Aladdin or anything? Excuse me. I'm gonna just gonna close my windows in here. It's starting to get quite dark out. I don't like to always have my window open so they could be seeing in with my light on. So okay, let's see. So yeah, blood clot. So we could be being, we don't want to be a blockage, right? So being part of the virus could be gossip, naysay, gnashing of teeth, rather than, right, allowing time and space for due processing of one, my land, right? What's going on in my land, my state of mind, my emotional state, right? And that's like Eve, emotion, energy in motion, mixed with, right? The mind is not same as brain. The brain is like intellect, masculine, straight line thinking, right? Out of your mind. On second thought, that over there, right? That's where. Oh, oh, I thought. I thought, putty that. So we want to just be a little more aware where we allow our thoughts to go scattering, and what we combine and call the same or just assume. Because if we assume, right, we're smashing two things together like grafting, right? Chimeras. We're not allowing something to present itself in its natural form, right? Vibration creates form. So a word, right? A rose isn't just a rose. I don't know how that poem really goes. I just know, like, right, what it represents, meaning, right? Adam had ability to name things. So if Elohim said, "Oh, here, Adam, come over here," kind of like our robot, right? He made something with his hands and said, you get to name whatever, right? Like, here's a dog, you get to name it. So naming something doesn't give its purpose or define its purpose or its function, right? What it does, it's right, it's natural meaning of existence being here, right? So discovering, right, America, or discovering, right, rediscovering ourselves and allowing ourselves to bloom and grow into more multidimensional forms by allowing more thoughts and feelings to occur before we go jumping, right? And assuming like jock asses that we know what the fuck we're talking about and go blah, 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 causing viruses, quack, 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 all over the place. Shit, right? Talking bullshit. um, so, playing with the words, but so, right, but seriously, so them also, so again, these words and terms looking into, right, the repeat narratives, what else were these, right, similar to? So not to cause fear, to know what it is and know, like, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Right? It's like once you start to see the said magic trick, right? And then you can still appreciate the magic trick, but you're a little bit more, right, attuned to like, oh, not get so poked like you're getting poked by a poker that's been hanging out in a hot fire, getting so mad like a cartoon, like, oh, right. It's like now it's like be a little more playful because it's like, because the more we react in a negative manner, it's like all we're doing is hurting ourselves. It's stupid. So, right. So the more playful we can become and the more open-minded and willing we are, right, to look a little further and deeper into things, even our boo-boos that we're scared to look at, that maybe we've, right, forgotten or stowed away, or try to avoid or pretend don't exist, etc., whatever. Passive aggressiveness, codependency, addiction, right? Addicted to being right, to staying working, staying busy, right? Anything to not look, right? Without having more knowledge and information. And then dictating to others what they should do. That's being an overseer, policing, right? It's like, police, please, police. Right. So it's like when we have respect for one another, we can come from a balanced playing field, right? And it's like if people are a little more accountable, you don't got to run around in so much fear, afraid that you're going to get caught because you did something maybe that wasn't so nice that you wouldn't like done back to you. And now you're running all over the place trying to make it look and appear like it's something different, right? It's like there's a saying, right? Once we choose to deceive, what a tangled web we weave. That's so true. You know, think how much energy that takes. If you start lying about something that's like, I gotta worry about you gotta start like it's like all this, right? All these backpacks you gotta start carrying. And when other people try to throw their right, dreams upon us, put us to sleep, etc., etc., keep us distracted. All right, so I'm gonna read this quick and then I'll sign off, and then I'll be back another time. And I would totally check out Earth Sky today and stuff because it's like Hercules, the globular cluster. It's like so many stars. I got to see that once with a friend. An astronomer showed us that, and it was the coolest, one of the coolest things ever. Like from in the observatories and stuff. It was a long time ago, quite a while ago now, that we got to do that. And but that has to do, yeah, that's like with Arcturus and Vega, Hercules. Libra's a Hercules. Again, having to do with Mars coming into Cancer, very intertwined. Lots of cool things are about to happen. I do believe. All right, so Johnson and Johnson, God knows you. This is the gematria. I'm just gonna read a few things that pop out as I go down. Okay. Almighty Majesty. Oh, what is Jin? Maxwell Diogi and King Solomon. Divine Word, Federal Reserve System. The marriage of Scorpius to Sagittarius. Jesus Christ Rapture. Sapienti Fortuna Iobat. Intellectual Property Rights, IPR. The Purple Cow Milka Chocolate. A peanut is not a nut. Happiness is hard to find. Supermax Guard, August 10. Past life was Lion Parade Pioneer. Python Hat Check, Mad Wheat. Stuff it up here. United States. I don't want to say that because that's gonna make my video messed up. But yeah, the capital G's, U.S. capital G's. Love my boyfriend. Saturn versus railway station or Saturn's. I am's the ways of good. The divine law. The occultists can only create cages and lies. Occult just means hidden too, though. But it depends again how one is using some kind of energy or information, or like how are you using knowledge? How are you using information? How are you using your right computer? Are you being sneaky? Are you right? Like take a look at yourself. That's what it like. I'm sort of like some people just love blaming other right. Point. Using these fingers all the time. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. Wow. Balloons. Popping egos. Helium. All right. And it says what else here? My answer remains who is like unto the best, not to leave it or die. It's right now, right? Right. Mary Flynn is Mary Tech. My musical, pardon me, one sec. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second there. All right. Apologize. I would have kept gotten a call and I wanted to let them know everything was all right. But right, it's again like pressing, like when people don't get a response that they want or right. There's a lot of immaturity and like a lot of clingy energy, right? Static cling. So sometimes, which is okay too, because again, there's just a lot of fear going on. So I'm using that in terms of sorry, I figured while I had myself hopefully muted. I don't know. I figured I'd at least give you some entertainment besides looking at my facial expressions, not knowing quite how to handle that. Right? Real life. How do we handle stress? I'm like, my face doesn't lie much if you can't tell. So yeah, Queen of Cups and Nine of Cups. And interesting, yeah, I've been playing this is the Greek mythology deck, and so yeah, right, Thothi and Greek mythology and Fairy Friday and Grimm's fairy tales. I had a few actually. I'm gonna come back on and record for that, but I have two stories I'm gonna read of Mark, the crystal ball And what was the one? And then I was like, and then right before it, and I was like, oh, I gotta read that too. And The Raven and the Crystal Ball. And what else did I first this morning? I opened Grimm's Fairy Tale, my big book, to I think it was Iron John, right? And now here I am doing Johnson and Johnson in that funny state. I've been all over the place today, right? Sleigh riding all over. So they're surfing all over. What's on where I saw? So yeah, lots of metaphysics. I listened to like the whole book of Jasher, the fourth book of Jasher, which I've done that quite a few times, but again, I was guided to like listen to that this morning. So um lots of like great Josephus, Joseph, Egypt, Jacob and Esau, and looking up the metaphysical terms for those things is very enlightening, I'll say. Um, it'll just bring a lot more to the table, a lot more awareness, right? A lot more instead of like first thought, second thought, maybe I shoulda, coulda, woulda done, da da da. If we jump too quick, right? So, right, to have allow many thoughts to come, and right, so they're nice and sparkly and a little more pure. We're not just spilling the cup of Hermes, right? That's filling the cup, allowing, right, shit to go spilling out, shooting out all over the place, right? Um, so just another representation of such natures, anyhow, right? Yeah, the other one can apply too, I guess, sure. But when you're again in divine, there's a lot to be said about that too, right? There's some, you know, well, when people try to force things or be in a relationship or be, say, jealous or envious of another's relationship, right? This is how you're gonna feel. Walking around in the shadows, looking for something, one to buy your bullshit, or moping around. Misery loves company. And that doesn't have to necessarily mean that. That could just also mean like, right, incognito. I mean, a lot of different things. Um, right. Appearing just to be a. Anybody ever see what's that? What did I get on here? Somehow I got like wax on my computer or something. Oh, somehow I just picked up my lotus flower and I'm wondering how I just did that. Cause and effect. Ding ding a ling. How did I do that? This is the story of my life. All right. So let's see. Back to the gematria here. Okay, so let me see what else do we have here. Anything else that stuck out? God's Family Virtues. This is under Johnson and Johnson. Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. Doesn't mean much to me, but it might to you. Brick House, Dollhouse, Yin Yang. Interesting. I was talking the other day about knee deep in the shit. Oh, Tales from the Hood. Oh shit. That shit is funny. um, but yeah, talking about the dollhouse. And that's right, yeah, literally a lot of say creator gods or creators or etc. Right? How was anything made or created? Right? In the mind, we have to have imagination, like right when we're playing, like, oh, So certain things, right, inanimate objects carry consciousness. Everything carries consciousness. There's energy and water and electromagnetic vibrations and right light codes traveling through everything. Things appear to be solid, right? This can appear, this appears solid, this appears solid, I appear solid. But if we look really close under a microscope, we're vibrating so fast we appear solid. Or we're like all the little tiny particles, like in like Willy Wonka, and he goes into like, or how we see again, right? The technology mimics kind of how, right, how many light years it takes to travel. Is a light year the same as a human year? Absolutely not. Right? Have you ever heard the term? It's like heaven and hell have completely different time frames, right? Like one day to God is 1,000 years to man, or something, right? I think I'm saying that properly. I might be saying it backwards, but ah, ha, 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 ha. Anyhow, right? Pleased to meet you. I'm just kidding. Hope you guessed my name. Woo hoo. But my puzzling you is the nature of my game. Papa was a rolling stone, and he rolled all the way home. Moonbeams, silver screens, rainbow bright. All right, let's see. Okay, back to gematria here. Um, Satanists are malignant, narcissistic abominations. I don't need more. In that show, American Gods, what's his name in that? Well, it's Odin, but Wednesday, All Father, and he's like, I'm that like annoying piece of sand in the oyster that is driving it crazy, but then it produces a pearl. It's like, yep. So sometimes when we're being tested, right, to get right how we're getting triggered, how you get how you how you getting how you feeling there, right? Lucia, are you getting lit up? Is anything getting you lit up? And then how are you using energy when you get triggered? And then when we have epiphanies too, right? That's like enlightenment. It's like, oh, right? The light bulb goes, oh, like, oh, right? Or we can get angry, right? Right? That's like fire hot. Right? So there's different, or we can like touch something hot, right? Literally physically, and like, right? Like, ow, right? I could burn myself. Ow, don't do that at home, right? All right. Gematrix, truly mind control game. And what isn't? Anything that anybody that's trying to influence anyone else in another way, it's like, or which is what we're all doing all the time, because we're all like, oh, da da da, or you want to go to the park with me, or da 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 da. So that's like manipulation and influence. And maybe we may get upset if somebody doesn't want to come with us, or right, not today, or it didn't work out, or we were gonna go, and then something happens. So, right, life happens and we have to deal with it. So how are we dealing with the hands that were being dealt? Right? 52 pickup. Ever play that game? My dad asked me when we used to play when I was little. I used to love Shoots and Ladders. And I used to love, he'd be like, what do you want to play? I don't know if you all remember Monopoly Takes Forever. And I'd be like, war, I want to play war. Now, war backwards spells raw, right? Raw. Ooh, baby, I like raw. But war is like the longest card game you could play because I wanted my dad to stay and play with me like the longest he could play. So I was like, what do you want to play? War. War. Oh, what is it good for? Absolutely none. But if you're playing the card game, it was good for me because it kept my dad there so he hung out and played with me, right? So again, depending on your perception. Could it go the other way? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. Some of y'all cray cray. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. What you're thinking? Lincoln logs everywhere. Floaters. All right. So now English gematria. And then I shall depart because it's getting late and I do have things I got to attend to and I don't want to be a jerk because then I'm going to be a jerk. I don't want to be that guy. All right. Ray is God's numbers 720 864 888 972 1190 and 90000. Hebrew, English, gematria. I'm gonna make a stand. Kill God, not happening. Exactly. Not you killing anything. All you gotta kill is what no longer serves you. And that's any bullshit you keep hanging on to or believing, right? Cutting off the fat, separating the wheat from the tares, right? The bullshit, right? And if you can't handle it, then I don't know. I don't know what happens then over there. That's not my that's not my arena over there. I'm not a sheep herder. But all right, so God's encoded birthing code. All great, amazing plague. And I don't know. I mean, I've never been a Bible thumper, but like I've read quite a lot of it. I don't retain stuff like that. So it's like I see what I need to see when I need to see it in the present now moment, and then right, I let it go. I don't have to keep walking around with stuff and holding on to that like that's what it is and that's how it stays thing, is the best way for me to explain that part as far as that goes. So or any, um and what the fuck was I just saying? Blah. Oh, the plague thing. Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, I've realized and witnessed and recognized and seen like throughout, especially since 2016, like my whole life, I've, you know, uh, wondered certain things or knew certain, felt like, certain things different, that I like, right, wasn't quite walking in line, so to speak. Mm. But at the same fact, it's like as I go through, it's like a lot of this stuff it's right in front of you, right? Where's the best place to hide the truth or hide a lie, right? Right in front of your very 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes, right? More, because like we got again the solar plexus, the gut's a whole nother nervous system. Sorry, that's like the one eye, and sleeping and dreaming. And we can have amazing dreams, or we can also have really scary fucking nightmares, right? So, but we don't have to believe in it. It's like, oh, that shit's scary and blah, blah. And then it's like, all right, and then just keep swimming, right? Or sometimes you paint something and you're like, that sucks. But then if you keep going, all of a sudden it turns into something beautiful and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even mean to make that. But like now it's like, whoa, right? So sometimes we end up like making the most amazing, beautiful things out of our fucking messy mistakes that we didn't even expect to make, right? Who would have thunk it? Put that in your trunk. Mm-hmm. I'm the good luck elephant. The trumpet. Okay. We're about 55 minutes in, so that's cool. About an hour. So level the playing field. Supreme mathematics. We are here with you. We are here with you. All together now. And you are not alone. No, you're truly, nobody's alone here. You know, I'm being silly, but like I'm being silly because lots of crazy shit can go on through your head and through your like, so know that that shit's fucking normal. That's kind of why I behave and act the way I do on occasion and well, a lot of time. Because literally we take ourselves very seriously and then the shock and awe is like much more like crack it, right? All solid, then you get cracked, right? You got to be able to flow with the wind when the wind goes a blowing. Your tree has to be able to be bendable, right? So you can sway, right? Like a tray. Suburban housewife, you are the phoenix. Rebirth, metamorphosis, divine enlightenment, Pontifex Maximus, crossfire hurricane. I was born in a crossfire hurricane. Operation Paperclip. That's in the gematria. Antichrist, Trump, Christ, Antichrist. I guess that would have to be a duality. If one is something, the duality, the opposite, right, has to also exist. So you can't say one is and then they're not the other thing, right? So there has to be a right. So, but then when there's recognition and awareness, and one has awareness of, right, then we try to balance out the energy that we're speaking of. But having information and more knowledge in depth of what a word and a vibration carries, the right, what that means, a little more in depth. Let the decoding fun begin. That's a cool one. I like that. Family in heaven, shocked, 1444. And what is the word heaven? Earth. What do you think the word hell means? Everybody's dying to get into heaven, right? Right? Uh, like, no, for that, it just, man. Right? Don't have to mean anything. It's just like, but heaven can be heavy, right? I cloud. Heaven floating around in the clouds, right? Just Yahweh made heaven. So the idea when we have a thought, poof, right? The emoji, what does it puff up a cloud? Where do everything on your phone go? Up to the iCloud, right? Everything stays in the cloud. What gets recycled? Water, rain, up to the clouds, right? Back to the ocean. The earth is more than 70%, right? Ocean, Oceana, salt water body. That's also dead man's seat, dead man's scrolls, right? Lots of emotional upheavals. And ho, playing around, right? So, but also very serious and Jeff. Friday facts. Yakety yak. Don't talk back. I'm just kidding. Thank you for coming and putting up with me and hanging out. Yeah, I appreciate you being here whenever you're here, all the time. Truly, truly, truly. You know, it's like, well, presently I think I'm just talking to myself because I don't think anyone's watching live, which is cool with me. Um, again, right? So the next thing, no game, it's prophecy. Because yeah, I'm just here to share the message. So whatever's streaming through is, and whoever's supposed to and needs to hear, see, or be, right? Will, and that's right. The motivational frequency, you know, I'm not really pushing, making, rushing, and forcing. I'm kind of, again, allowing things to very gradually build themselves and present themselves and show me the next, right, best thing, or present, just naturally present itself. So, all right. So let's see. 1988, McKine is time change. Twin flame soulmate. And 1607 is next to that. It's interesting. I don't know. 14. 1607. 1607 is 14, right? 1 and 6, 0, 7. 7 and 6 is 13, plus 1 is 14. So it has all the vibrations of all those numbers. It's a lot of Osiris and 3.14 pi, right? 3 whole, and then 0.14, the tenths and the hundredths. And there's 14 meridians in the body. Also has to represent 14 meridians of the earth, bloodlines, or vessel meridians, right? Energy. Yeah. Yellowstone caldera, the first and the last, Alpha Omega, right? Where sneaking its own tail, Aurora Bora. Mark of the Ophidian child. I don't know if that means. Also Ludwig van Beethoven, March 23rd. He's the one I waited for. Oh, that's crazy. I'm not gonna struggle. Decode living God gematria. Human and him. He is fierce but loving. The key to the soul. Publish your book, right? You're a walking, living book of life. Don't worry about making money and right, but have your voice. Let your voice be heard. Let your vibrations sound, right? That's how we move it all around. Auto punk detector. The truth, the light, flawless victory. That's funny. I think the new Mortal Kombat comes out today too. Fatality. All right. This is it. Reversed. I make this shit up. Talking about that. Work it. Put the needle on the record. When the drum beat go like this. La 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 la. You remember that? What was that? Rob Bass. I think it was It Takes Two to Make a Thing Go Right. That's my girl. My girl Lee. Her and I used to love that song. We used to dance our asses off when we were like early teens to that song. A lot of songs. All right, anyhow, getting crazy. So, okay, I think I have anything else to say. Yeah, Jehovah has favored Johnson. Hi ho, silver. Ho ho ho, green giant. Excuse me, holy allergies. Yeah, Yahweh has favored also means Jehovah has favored. So again, using and Yahweh and Jehovah didn't show up till Genesis 3. Genes of Isis. Gene pool. What's that song? Someone left a floater in the gene pool. In the what? That's not the right sounds. I just sang Santa got run over by Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Oh my God, I said Santa. I'm talking about crisscrossing wires there, Mercury. What the funk? That was quite frickin' hysterical. Wow. Whoa. All right. Anyhow. What was that song? Oh, wait. Oh, I'll when, next time. It's a punk rock song. Anyhow, right? Speaking about floaters, who the fuck wants to be swimming in the water and have anybody going to the bathroom in the water that we're like hanging out, swimming in or drinking? Yeah, it's like get your pills, get your opiate pills, get that shit out of here, penguin. Right? Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain, the iron curtain. The iron man, pay no attention. Sam, I am. No, we don't want no green eggs and ham. Not the end. It's like, I do like green eggs and ham. I'll eat them on a boat. I'll eat them right on a train, in a car, on a plane. I do. So we never knew, right? We never know until we knew. We got to wear somebody else's shoes. All right, I'm getting cuckoo, and my phone just keeps buzzing away. So happy Friday, or whatever moment in time you happen to appear here. And thank you again so very much. I hope you had fun, and maybe look into some of the words, any word that comes your way, into your field of vibration, right? Your electromagnetic field, where it's like a sand glass, hourglass, or pyramids, right? It's like the information's coming, it's tunneling down in, coming upward, uploading, downloading, just like computer, right? Shedding, defragmenting, disk cleanup, you gotta rest, recoup, poop poopy doop. And do you know it's very dangerous to wake people up while they're asleep? So, and that's literal as far as like sleeping. You're not supposed to wake, you're supposed to allow people to sleep. Our body's healing and doing what it needs to do, right? When we're getting woken up like clockwork, our bodies are never healing and doing what they fully need to do. They're not going into the depth of brain waves that they need to go into. And everybody's wondering why they're off balance and not feeling well. I mean, that's part of, right? Not eating well, overthinking, jumping, right? Running before we, right? Allow the storm outside to pass a little bit, right? Kind of like Noah representation, and Noah stay in the ark. There's a storm coming, but there will be no rain. In the eye of the storm, it looks like it's all calm. It's got to be the eye of the storm, the pillar, the center pillar and ground, um, et cetera, whatever. Right. Um, so yeah, pretty please like, subscribe, hit the bell, be well, and y'all come back now here. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, and yeah, just keep swimming, and you're not alone. And yo, you got the fight in you. I got the power. Getting, gonna have it. Mm, 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 mm.